Hello MMK Eagle View viewers, this is Mahesh Adithya, political analyst. Today we are going to see about one of the major things that's been talked about in the media for almost 1 week by now. This is about Dr. S. Jaishankar, our External Affairs Minister's visit to Russia. We are going to see a lot of important analysis in this particular video. Most of the media channels have actually talked a lot about this particular topic. I don't want to drill the same topic again, but I would like to mention 4 or 5 important analysis that hasn't been spoken in media for quite a while, and not a lot of media channels haven't covered some 3 or 4 analysis. So I would like to make an analysis and an entire video regarding that. Let us now dive deep into this video. So if you see, I'll just give you a brief analysis of this particular issue, and before that I'll give you major facts that has been published by our External Affairs Ministry. You can find the press link in the description below. I will be attaching the link in the description. You can probably view what are the important initiatives and steps taken by Jaishankar sir during this particular meet. Before going to the analysis, I would like to point out few facts. So as you know, from 25th to 29th of December, just before the new year, our External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar visited Russia. He was actually on a 5-day trip on an official bilateral visit to both Moscow and St. Petersburg. He visited both the cities, and he also visited the Kremlin and had a direct meeting with Vladimir Putin. There were a lot of bilateral talks that went in the background. One of the main thing is obviously it's the discussion based on the Kudankulam nuclear power plant. That was actually highlighted more than twice while meeting with Sergei Lavrov, the Foreign Affairs Minister of Russia, as well as with Vladimir Putin, and also a lot of background verifications and checks regarding the establishment and the progress of the power plant were actually discussed with Denis Mantrov. He is the Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, so that also went into place. A lot of talks were done, especially with regard to a lot of institutions, a lot of government and private sector industries and all that. We'll be listing out one by one right now. So the first is obviously the general thing that we are going to discuss, because this particular meet by S. Jaishankar, and especially this visit to Russia at this juncture, was mainly to increase the energy cooperation, the economic cooperation that we have, and also to increase the pharma industries and the presence of pharma industries of Indian companies in Russia, as well as with joint ventures with Russian companies as well. These are one of the major agendas that were in the mind. So I would like to highlight a few others. And the second is obviously an MOU was formally established between India and Russia regarding the pharma, and a protocol on foreign office consultations were also being signed. I'll explain about this particular protocol consultation at the later stage. It will come as part of our analysis. The next is actually the people-to-people relations. Obviously, he visited, our External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, he visited our Indian diaspora in Russia. He promoted more of people-to-people relations. As you all know, cultural ties plays a vital part between the relations of India and Russia. So meeting our diaspora communities played a major part. And he also made visit to a school which was named after Rabindranath Tagore, was named after him. It was in St. Petersburg. So he had visited and he witnessed cultural performances of Russia and India, and he interacted with students as well. So these are some of the general things that we have. And apart from this, other usual things obviously deals with the projects. A lot of media channels were talking about the Kudankulam project in Tamil Nadu, which has been which has been in the phase of construction for many years, and not a fruitful outcome has been come into place. A lot of people, I've personally interacted with people from Kudankulam as well. Even they are anticipating the project, but a lot of outcomes as discussed before aren't there in the place right now. So Jaishankar sir highlighting this particular topic in front of Putin is also a very big deal, because the progress, not just the progress, even the outcome comes into place at a faster pace. And as expected, Chennai to Vladivostok. Since Kudankulam project has been the talk of the town, Chennai to Vladivostok will eventually come along with this process, because 4 to 5 years back an MOI or Memorandum of Intent was actually signed between India and Russia. Modi ji, he promoted that. But after that, there wasn't any progress after that. There wasn't any sort of a constructive progress in the implementation of this particular project. So eventually, when Kudankulam project comes into limelight, Chennai to Vladivostok will also have an effect on it. As I said, people to people cultural ties. So these two were the major topics discussed by the media channels, and also the diplomatic move that India had. A lot of channels also said snubbing the West, or trying to show the world or the Western media or the Western bloc that what India is capable of by supporting Russia. So these were some of the topics discussed by other media channels. But now we are going to discuss about 4 or 5 major points which I felt as a geopolitical analyst was one of the major, I would say, it went in the back end, but not a lot of things were discussed in front of the camera. So I would like to highlight these 4 or 5 points. So the first is obviously the INSTC, the International North-South Transport Corridor. If you see, this INSTC came 2-3 years back when Modi ji himself visited Russia, and almost 1.5 years back, a lot of process started to come into place. This majorly involves trade route from Mumbai all the way to St. Petersburg. It passes through Bandar Abbas port in Iran, then it goes to Baku, Azerbaijan. It passes through Caucasus. From Baku it goes to Astrakhan, and from Astrakhan it goes to Moscow, and then to St. Petersburg eventually. So this is the trade route that we had planned, and a lot of things are into place right now, and INSTC is expected to roll out pretty soon, because only a few months back we had a trial sort of initiative wherein a lot of goods started to go from Mumbai to Bandar Abbas, sort of like a trial, and a lot of logistics and infrastructure projects are underway. So the talk of this INSTC has been at the back end of this meeting. So we are expecting to have further improvements in this particular project. And the second thing is, as I said before, there's something called Protocol on Foreign Office Consultations. So what is this protocol? Because this is sort of like a bilateral agreement that is being signed between the two governments. So this particular consultation is nothing but a cooperation, a mutual cooperation between two countries, wherein they will have a promise to implement and construct few institutions, or they'll support few institutions, or they'll have cooperation in 2 or 3 more areas. For instance, this protocol on foreign consultations between India and Russia is based on the BRICS summit that annually we conduct. Not just we, in the sense the member nations conduct. Then we have the SCO summit, the territorial integrity, the defense and the intelligence and military cooperations that we have, and also regarding technologies and advanced equipment. So these are some of the areas wherein every year we'll be having cooperation between Russia and India. But what is significant in this particular protocol is that every single year we used to have this agreement only for 2 years. That is, for 2013 to 2015 we'll be having one set of agreement. It expires in 2015, and again it will be renewed either by the external affairs minister or the leaders themselves. They'll probably go and sign it. So this has been renewed every year or every alternative year. But what is fascinating in this particular year is that this has been signed for the year 2024 to 2028. This has been signed for 4 years straight. So this shows the assured cooperation that India wants to have with Russia. This hasn't had before, because if you see, even before during Indira Gandhi period, I guess this was actually there wasn't any agreement as such in the name of policy consultation based on the foreign affairs, but there were agreements without this particular terminology. But when this exact agreement came into force, this is the first time we are having long-term cooperation. From 2024, we are having our cooperation until 2028. So one of the major things why this particular thing is signed between 24 to 28 is that the next year or the coming year, actually, if you see, we will be having sort of like elections in Russia as well as in India. So if you see, more the number of years that's been included in the agreement, more the cooperation that is there between these two countries. You don't need to sign an agreement again and again, and it cannot be overwritten by the predecessor, and it cannot be overwritten by the successor who has written a lot of agreements based on the agreement signed during the predecessor's time. So if you see, even next prime minister or president comes into place, this agreement will be in effect. So that's one of the major reasons why from 2024 to 2028 India is trying to have assured cooperation with Russia. And the next thing is Vladimir Putin's meeting. So actually, if you see, a lot of media were talking about the diplomacy and the India's snubbing of West, which I don't believe it is snubbing, but literally it is sort of like a multi-aligned policy that we are taking right now based on diplomacy. But what I had observed is that Putin had said it appreciates India's cooperation with Russia amidst this war in Ukraine. This is one of the major statements because India had still stood as one of the middle position as multi-aligned between Russia and Ukraine, and India said it wanted permanent peace and wanted to negotiate and settle this war through peaceful means. This is one of the assurity that's actually given by India to both the countries, to both Russia as well as Ukraine. So this particular statement stands as a testament of Putin's faith and I would say the diplomatic effort that gained fruit for our external affairs ministry, because a leader who had gained significant traction through this particular action and who is giving open statement that the support has been given through the war period is not an easy thing. So amidst the juggling between East and the Western Bloc, this particular statement stands as one of India's achievements, one of India's diplomatic achievements, to be more precise. And the next thing is a lot of people haven't discussed about this particular aspect. Minister Jaishankar, during his visit, he had a meeting with the think tanks, a lot of Russian think tanks and Indian think tanks as well. They were talking about the role of India, and they were also talking about the role of India's efforts in establishing peace during the war. And it also discussed about India's role in the current Israel and Palestine war as well. A lot of think tanks were involved. One of the major things why these things are being discussed along with the think tanks support is because our external affairs minister, he is trying to promote what India is trying to do among the diplomatic circles of Russia, not just with the leadership, not limited to Kremlin alone. If you see, even the public's perspective are changing. And not just that, the academic perspective and the academician's perspective of drafting a foreign policy and executing it as a part of an advisory to the government is totally different from what a layman would view. So in order to bridge the gap between layman and the academicians, think tank are the best possible solutions. So one of the major reasons why he is targeting our Minister Jaishankar sir is targeting think tanks is to actually garner a lot of support and to understand what are India's intentions. A lot of media, I will not specify which media outlets, but a lot of media is trying to portray the hidden agenda of India or trying to portray India in a wrong way. So in order to ensure that India's intentions are pretty clear, his move on addressing the think tanks came as a vital force during this particular meet. And the last thing is oil actually. So if you remember, on 3rd of January, I would like to quote that our oil minister Hardeep Singh Puri, he had said, "There's no payment problem, it's a pure function of the price at which our refineries will buy." So this is one of the major things that is coming into place, because we know for sure that Russian oil is going to get depleted sooner or the other, but right now there has been a huge decrease in the oil imports. Actually, if you see, this report was actually published by NDTV. It says that there is India's December Russian oil imports fell to a 11-month low. So this 11-month low is also because of the discounted oil that has been reduced, because Russia has reduced the discount rate. So this has become really problematic for India as well. So that's why if you see, a lot of imports has been reduced right now. So it's 11-month low is actually a very big deal. So this has not been disclosed in the public, because in order to ensure that the oil transactions are seamless, I could say for sure that Jaishankar's visit was actually one of the main reasons, anticipating that such a moment would come in the future. So now that Hardeep Singh Puri, minister, he had said openly, he had addressed this in a press conference, it is important to note that in prior, anticipating this in advance, our EAM's visit to Russia was also to discuss the future problems and the future transaction regarding oil. So these are some of the views that I have based on our EAM's visit to Russia. These are one of the issues that haven't been discussed widely out in the media outlets. So I would like to quote this analysis. Hope you find this video and analysis very much informative. If you have any feedbacks or criticisms, please do mention in the comment section below. Thank you. Namaste. Jai Hind.